phone just died. It's too cold. I was gonna post this on my story. Minutes, 22 seconds. Almost 500 feet in elevation. Hello.
As soon as you get to that, you come right in here. That's the halfway point. And now we're going back. Going back's a little easier, minus big puddles like this. But when you trail run, you expect to get dirty, especially this time of year. So it's no sweat. You just go through it. Your feet will get wet, but they don't get cold. You just keep moving. It's good training too, just to run up a hill that doesn't have solid footing. The trick is keep putting one foot in front of the other. And to not think long term. But just step by step. I know what I have to do to get up here. One foot in front of the other. That's not the hard part. The hard part is doing it. And when you begin to turn off the option to quit, all you're left with is doing it. So then it's not a matter of, can I do it? It's what's my mindset going to be throughout this process? And you can choose to suffer. Or you can choose to just get yourself together and understand that it's not forever. And on top of every uphill is a downhill. That's why no one showed me these. I got really into trail running last year during the winter, and I wanted to train, but it takes a lot to drive somewhere, do a trail run, and then drive back. The travel time is too much. So this flood wall that led to the base of this mountain is right outside Philosophically Built. So one day I just ran, no expectations. I just ran across the flood wall and then just explored. And through exploring, I found snowmobile trails, four-wheeler trails, deer trails, and I just ran in the woods. And then lo and behold, there's a path here. It's like it's not a great path, but it's a path. It's a little more messy than like a Jones Park area, but I like it. I enjoy it. It's not as groomed, it's more real. It's more like how our ancestors ran, probably, through trails like this. Just less groomed and more messy. They didn't have the luxury to have a fridge full of food where they could do fun things like clear out trails. But that's what this is all about. It's about getting in that primal mindset and just tapping into it. Not necessarily, not 100% where it takes control, but to feel it. To feel what it's like to run, to push your boundaries, because the human body was made to move like this. You don't have to do it to be the best at it. You just go out and do it. And if you commit to it every day, every week, and stay disciplined, you'll get better. You'll feel what it's like to be in your most primal state. Because there's something, it's a feeling I can't explain. When you reach, when your body's moving and you get into this zone, into this flow state, where everything's working together, where your thoughts are connecting, where your body feels loose and good. You feel light, you feel strong, and there's something about that. You can't explain it. I can't tell someone about it. You have to just experience this. And this GoPro is a way to show it. It's not only a way to show what I'm doing, but it's a way to show what I'm thinking. Because a lot of my thoughts come when I'm running. And it's hard to talk about them when I'm done running because I'm out of the flow state. But that's why I love working out. Because when you get in a room with intellectuals and you start using kettlebells and steel maces, thoughts start connecting. Thoughts turn into words. Whew. And words turn into action if you do it right. And then action changes your life. So this is gonna be the fun part. Finding the trail. I think we passed it. To go back down. Yep, right by these big things. And I rolled my ankle before running downhill because I was trying to go too fast. And I put my foot too far out in front of me, which caused my ankle to roll. And I sprained. I was out for like 3 weeks. I probably should have been out for 6, but I go against my own advice and went out a little too early. And the result, I have a little pain on my left foot right now, my left inner foot, but I knew that when I made the choice to start after 3 weeks. So I came with a machete and I broke this up, but only the bottom half of it. I didn't get up here yet. Whew. Yep, and this is where I cleared out so you could see the hack. I came up here with a machete, chopped it all up. So this part was really bad. But this is what this whole mountain can look like. I just gotta get back up here. And so a lot of times, people don't even know what they're capable of. They have no idea. Most people can do this. Everyone can do this. Not tomorrow, but you see this and you're like, huh, oh, I could roll an ankle and I don't know if I'm strong enough. And yeah, maybe you will roll an ankle. Maybe you're not strong enough. Maybe your cardio's not strong enough. But can it be stronger tomorrow? Can your cardio be better tomorrow if you put in a little bit of work today? And then how about the next day and the next day? And who cares? What if it takes a year to be able to build yourself up to get to here? What if it takes 2? Hell, what if it takes 5? You know, for the people who haven't done anything in years and you might be overweight, and who cares? What if it takes 5? 5 years isn't that long. What I always think is like, where was I 5 years ago? And I think back 5 years and I'm like, holy shit, that wasn't that long ago. So if you commit now and give yourself 5 years, what can you be capable of? And you might be with an ultimate surprise thinking that it could take 5 years, but you're so dedicated and so determined, and you change your diet, you change your way of living, you change the people you surround yourself with, you change everything. What if you get done quicker? What if you get done in a year? And that's what got me. I realized I only have one life. And I wanted to experience the best version of my life as I possibly could. So I started to set out on a task. My end goal isn't in sight. I don't have an end goal. There is no end goal. The goal is just to every day grow. Every day I put in the work. Every day I do something. And it's not all fitness. It's just every day I try to become better. And fitness is what keeps me accountable. Because fitness, I can see the results. I can see the results if I commit to it, and I can see the results begin to fade when I veer from it. So it's a real world, a real time acknowledgement. Okay, so there's a segment on this last flood wall run where I try to beat my time every time. Not necessarily beat it, but try to see how well I can do. And you don't think this flood wall is long until you're running it, trying to beat it. And now that I see it, my cardio feels good. That's why I try to pick it up. Whew. Keep the legs moving. And the run ends and I cross this grass. Whew. And then I do a cool down walk. 1 or 2 laps around the building. And I feel good. I feel good. You know, I'm not tired. Like right now, I could go do an upper body workout, throw around the kettlebells. I haven't really been focusing on legs besides with the steel mace lately because I've just been running so much and I'm trying to run hills like that in the woods. So my legs are definitely getting a workout. So I don't pack on the heavy weights with the legs, but I will do steel mace, lunges and flows. And I'll do body weight lunges. And that seems to keep my legs strong and active. So, this is the last phase of the workout, and I'm just gonna go over what has been popping into my head. So, yes, brace yourself. I'm going to talk about Donald Trump. Dun dun dun. But yeah, so Donald Trump called out the Federal Reserve for raising interest rates. And he's telling the truth to the masses about the Federal Reserve and how the Federal Reserve is not controlled by government. It's its own entity, and they can do what they want, and they have no idea what they're doing. The Federal Reserve is just an entity that can print money and control interest rates, and it's an evil institution because money is supposed to have value. Money is supposed to be backed by something, and it's backed by nothing. It's backed by government power. It's backed by use this dollar because you can't use anything else, and also we're going to tax you and you have to pay in dollars. So they trap you into the system. And I've been talking about the Federal Reserve for a very long time now because I realized it was the institution that controlled all other institutions. It's no secret, and it's not hard to imagine that if you can control the money supply, then you can control nations. So he's calling out the Federal Reserve, which is amazing. Hey guys. Because a lot of people have no idea what the Federal Reserve is. A lot of people are blind to the fact that it's an institution that can print money, and it's not held by government. It's not under the control of government. So by calling out the Federal Reserve, he's, in essence, making it so we don't know what he's going to do. Because Trump, when he starts talking about something, usually what's been happening is, what I notice is he talks about a topic, people react, he sees the reaction, he sees what his base will do, and then he goes forward. If his base doesn't like it, he'll usually pull back, but mostly he goes forward because Trump's base is behind him 100% of the way. Because they see the evils of the world, they see the globalist agenda, and they see Trump standing in front of it. So we did the first step, which was call out the Federal Reserve, and now we wait. And everyone attacks him, and if he's being attacked by the left, it usually means it's a good thing. Right, once the left starts agreeing with him because of their track record, it's basically like, that they got control of Trump again. So the fact that they're fighting him every step of the way means that he's doing a good thing. Like they say, they only shoot at you when you're over the target. So we'll see what happens with the Federal Reserve. I think he's going to be quiet about it for a little bit, It could be a couple days, it could be a week. But he's gonna come back out and he's gonna say something again about the Federal Reserve. And the truth about the Federal Reserve, just so everyone is aware, is that it's immoral to be able to control money supply and be able to print as much as you want, because that deflates or that inflates the money supply and devalues your purchasing power. Meaning if you have $10 today and the federal government prints $1 trillion, then that means that your $10 is, you'll still have $10, but it can only buy $9 worth of goods. So in essence, it's theft. It's stealing from you. And people don't understand this. It's a sneaky tax. There's 3 ways the government can tax you. One is just straight up taxation. And straight up taxation, the people don't like because they see the results in the here and the now and they go, you're raising my taxes, get him out of government. So governments, they want to have all this money to spend to push their programs, but they don't want to tax their base because the base will get mad and vote them out. So they have 2 other options. First option is national debt. They just put it on a credit card. And all that's saying is, hey, future generations, you're gonna have to deal with this problem. We want the social program now, we want the goods now, but we don't want to pay for it. So you're gonna pay for it, next generations, which I hate. And I talk about all the time that we're left with $22 trillion, and guess what? The bill's coming, and it's all for programs I didn't vote on, and I'm stuck with it. And if I just do the same thing and kick the can down the road, I'm gonna kick it to my children. And then people say, I'll do anything for the children, we love the children, but then when it says, oh, so let's cut the national debt, let's stop having social programs. Oh, well, not like that. No, phony. So the second way is national debt. The third way is inflating the currency. Because what they do is they say, okay, this program is gonna cost $50 billion. We'll print 30 billion. We will borrow 18 billion, and we will tax the people 2 billion. It's a small enough increment where they won't notice it too much, they won't revolt too much, and that'll be that. And everyone likes it. How else do you think we could afford this multi-trillion-dollar war in Iraq? Imagine for 1 second that we had to pay for the war in Iraq. Imagine if the people, the working people, had to pay to go to Iraq and stay in Iraq. Imagine if the people had to pay today our foreign policy of our troops in the Middle East and all around the world, being the policemen of the world. You would hear a battle cry from the civilians all at once saying, bring our troops home, because we wouldn't be able to afford it. Everyone would be taxed to the oblivion. We wouldn't be able to afford it. So that's how they do it. They can't tax us. They want the social programs anyway. They put it on a credit card called national debt, and they print the money supply. That's just a hidden tax that devalues the currency that's already in circulation. And that goes by largely unnoticed, and it can only be done because of the Federal Reserve. If we back our money to a sound currency, whether it's gold, silver, even Bitcoin could be a possible option. Bitcoin kind of confuses me. I'm not really completely aware of how it works. I just know that it's a leveraged bet to go against the fiat currency of the dollar. But if it was a gold-backed currency or a backed currency, you wouldn't be able to inflate the money supply. It's a protection from inflation, which is why our forefathers said they were adamant about not allowing a third-party government come in, a central bank come in and take control of the currency. They were adamant about that because they knew what would happen. Because it's happened before in history. This isn't the first time. You devalue the currency, you can control a nation. So that's just a little insight on where my mind is right now, because the Federal Reserve controls so much of how the economy runs. And if the Federal Reserve has big levers that can control everything, and Trump's pointing his crosshairs at it, and it's long overdue. So just be aware of what's gonna happen and keep your head up, keep training, keep being mentally prepared, keep building, and just be prepared for whatever is to come. Remember, it's better to be prepared and not need it than not be prepared and wish you were.